The top three here, Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, 13 world championships between them. Count them, Ted, down to you. Yeah, well, 7 fouls and 4 for Vettel, 2 for Verstappen, 13, that makes 13. Nice one, Griffin, not too shabby.
In a few moments' time, we have the green flag, and in front of a capacity crowd, 5 lights are on. It's lights out, away we go. Verstappen does get away well.
The top three here, Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, 13 world championships between them. Count them, Ted, down to you. Yeah, well, 7 fouls and 4 for Vettel, 2 for Verstappen, 13, that makes 13. Nice one, Griffin, not too shabby.
In a few moments' time, we have the green flag, and in front of a capacity crowd, 5 lights are on. It's lights out, away we go. Verstappen does get away well.
The top three here, Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, 13 world championships between them. Count them, Ted, down to you. Yeah, well, 7 fouls and 4 for Vettel, 2 for Verstappen, 13, that makes 13. Nice one, Griffin, not too shabby.
In a few moments' time, we have the green flag, and in front of a capacity crowd, 5 lights are on. It's lights out, away we go. Verstappen does get away well.
The top three here, Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, 13 world championships between them. Count them, Ted, down to you. Yeah, well, 7 fouls and 4 for Vettel.
Well, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to whether you're joining us around the globe. Whether you're down under in Australia, whether in Europe, Asia, Africa, wherever you're joining us, we appreciate you being here We're here for round 4 here at the Red Bull Ring in Tier 2 in the 2026 regulation. Another circuit where you need the battery management. This time, I'm not alone for the commentary this time. You got myself, Rio Harris, alongside me. We got Mr. Jedi here for what I'm sure is going to be a spectalizing Austrian Grand Prix. How are you doing, my friend?
Good evening. I am doing very well, thank you, and yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, thank you. I'm quite excited for the race here today. We've got cars already out on the circuit. First one being the Audi, one of 2 new teams in Formula 1, LTJ Northey. If we get up the driver standings, I haven't actually got it set up on my OBS, didn't really have time to because I got lost track in the time. But I am going to go and find my way around this. If we go to Tier 2, go to the standings, the championship leader is by the name of Techno in the Alpine, and that is the guy you can see in P1 in your timing tower. Then it's the Car Geek in P2 in that Silver Arrows. That is, I don't actually think he's here today. I think that's on the Alfie, but I might be completely wrong. Arrow, who is third in the driver's standings, 20 points adrift from it all, is in the Scarlet Ferrari. It's exactly where he is in the timing tower as well. Nonetheless, though, in qualifying here today, it's the shortest lap of the season here in terms of lap time, and one of those where it's only 10 corners, but you have to really get it right, and it's so easy for track limits, isn't it?
Definitely. I was doing a few laps here the other day, and the track limits, if you get it wrong, you just get eaten up by them over and over again. So definitely one where you have to get it right, but you also want to keep pushing it and not go too easy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we just watched MB on the exit of turn number 1 already get squirrely there. Flat through 2 to the rise at turn number 3. 16.374 is the benchmark opening sector here. Their teammate, a Nuki Boy, ahead as they make their run towards turn number 4 here. Not the most optimal slipstream there between the 2 Silver Arrows as they make their way towards turn 4 now. You want to lift and coast and then brake around 100 meter, maybe just after, flick it in and apply the power. Then go flat through turn 5 towards the turn, towards turn number 6, sorry. Then we go towards the end of that middle sector. The Mercedes, I believe, will do unison. Scones in the chat has just said the 2 Mercedes are actually brothers here, so brother power, it seems. They've got the chemistry, so they should be 1-2. I'm joking. On the run towards turn 9 and turn number 10, the benchmark time here, the McLaren, not going to be the most optimal here for the Mercedes. It might be a bit of a distraction here. That's Craig Conley rounding the final corner. The benchmark time here, will we be in the 1 minute 05? So they come across the lines at 1 minute 5.611 is the time to beat. Northey up next will make his way across the line, and the Audi, can they usurp it? No, 7/10 adrift from the fastest time of which we've seen so far. NMX James coming around the final corner of the championship leader, goes up into P2. The Ferrari up next, I believe that is Diggs, who is about to begin the next lap here. James across the line goes up into P3 behind their teammate. Then we go to the McLaren of F1 Mallard to go into the top 3. Then it will be the man P3 in the World Championship. Will they rise to the top of the timing page? Which they will, with a monumental lap time of 1:04.8.
That was very impressive from Arrow, already 8 tenths clear, but a lot of drivers still to set lap time, so he's not safe at the provisional pole just yet.
Yeah, exactly. As we watch Raheem come across the line to go slower than the times that we have seen so far. And so up next just goes up to the front row. Still 6/10 away from that fastest time we have seen so far. Craig Conley making their way around the final corner along with a Williams and a Red Bull. Crossing the line we go as the bunch of the drivers here. The McLaren up next goes into 6th position, sorry. Then we see Nuki Boy up next for crossing the line to go 7th for the Mercedes team. And then MB going for another push lap here in this qualifying session at the Red Bull Ring. Northey again, another one beginning a lap here. Diggs as well. One Ferrari on provisional pole. Where can the second one go? It's a Ferrari front row lockout. And the prancing horses have pranced their way to the top of the timing page. Up next is Hayes across the line, can only go 10th, but the Ferraris are looking strong.
Definitely in Hayes 10th, but on the hard tyres for that first run in qualifying. I've never seen the hard tyres being used for the first run, but to be in 10th at the moment, showing that he's got a decent little bit of pace on the hards. Be interested to see what the softs look like on the Racing Bulls. As who's that next around the line? It's going to be one of the Audis, I think.
I believe it is. I think it might be actually Raheem coming around the final corner just to begin another lap here in the qualifying session. Ollie Bean in the Williams up next to cross the line. Ollie Bean goes up into 5th position. Then the Red Bull as well. Sci-Fi Mega Hype slots in slightly behind the Williams man to go up into the top 6 here. I believe that is MB coming across the line. Can he go to the top 3? Which he can with a 105. 4:09, as I believe that's a McLaren. I want to say it was Craig Conley who has just began yet another lap here in qualifying. The man on provisional pole was improving in that first sector, but has bailed out of it towards the end of the middle sector. Maybe had a spin on the exit of turn number 4. Diggs comes into the pit lane, confirming that after the first run, we have got a front row lockout provisionally for the Scarlet Ferrari. Up next, we have got the McLaren. Mallard comes across the line, sets an invalid 105.592. Then we have the Racing Bulls up next of Hayes. On the hard tyre, like you did highlight, the only time I remember seeing this when I believe F1, I think it was in 2023, when they were trialing this different qualifying method where Q1 you'd have the hards, Q2 the medium, then Q3 would get your soft tyre.
Yeah, it's interesting, but 600's up in the first sector for Hayes at the moment. It's interesting to see, on the pace with quite a few people on the soft. So once the soft tires go on, it'll be interesting whereabouts Hayes can go. But as you said, interesting to see. It's usually mediums you see people run for first runs of qualifying, not the hard tires.
Exactly. The Mercedes just jumps up into 5th position there, Nuki boy. I mean, maybe I don't. Normally, you'd like that extra set of tires, wouldn't you, for flexibility with the strategy? McLaren style in Qatar, if you know, you know. But I mean, the tyre wear in Austria, it's not the kindest to you. Remember how bad it was in the 2025 regulations. You had to do a 2-stop unless you was absolutely goated at managing your tyre wear. We've got currently 5 drivers yet to set times. That is Emid in the Red Bull, Lanky, Godzilla, Dubsy, both Hasses haven't set times, and then Andreas in the Aston Martin. Don't believe anyone else is pushing on at this current moment in time. Ollie Bean, end of the middle sector, 0% battery, but it's improving by 2.5 tenths of a second as we come towards the final couple of corners here. The Williams man surely going to be losing time all the way down the straight through turn 9 and towards turn number 10. We were right, getting nice and close to the track limits there. The Williams man pushing that Grove car towards the line we go with Ollie Bean, and yeah, exactly, this is 3 tenths of a second in that final sector here. Hayes has actually peeled into the pit lane now, could get off that hard compound tyres. And Alpine round the final corner. Is that the championship leader? No, it's not. It's their teammate. But it makes James, who is beginning another push lap here in this qualifying session. Dubsy as well is beginning, did that a double out lap actually, clattering that inside curb at 10:10 to begin another lap in this qualifying session. And both Ferraris back out on the circuit as well.
Yeah, as Ferrari 1-2, can anyone dispossess them? Obviously, a couple of people still to set times. I think it's a couple of people who've joined late but not taken a car. So we should have 22 for the race, but currently we only have 21 in the lobby still. Again, to around the halfway point of the qualifying session, it's usually when if I was in your position, I'd ask whoever's with me, who do you think could take pole tonight?
Oh, I have to admit, it's got to be. You have to highlight the Ferraris, don't you? I mean, they're both half a second clear of the entire field. Arrow with that just under a tenth of a second advantage over their teammate. You've got to think the Ferraris are the advantage here. Arrow 66 milliseconds up at the end of that first sector.
I was going to say on the line of the Ferraris, as we have few people coming towards the end of laps. As I'm trying to find someone who's coming towards the end of the lap. Dubsy coming towards the end of the lap after doing a double push lap down to the line. It's 1 minute 5.1 up into third.
Good time from the Haas driver there. Williams went off on the exit of turn number 3. I just caught that as well. A glimpse of it. So Dubsy inserting himself there, maybe up in the fight. Arrow has invalidated their time whilst being 2 tenths of a second up. We finally got our 22nd car here in the running order. I believe that is Haroon in the Aston Martin. Apologies if I butchered your name. Arrow is going to go again here. I don't exactly know why he's gone around again, unless he's got the fuel to do that double out lap. What about the championship leader then? Coming across the line, the more like it, but still quite the distance away from that provisional pole time here. 105.427. Up into the top 5 for the Alpine outfit. What about Diggs? Again, like his teammate, didn't improve on that particular lap time, but it's going again here in qualifying, and then MB as well is going for another lap here in this qualifying session. 105.4 is his time to beat, or 104.8 is the overall time to beat here at the Red Bull Ring, as I believe that was Godzilla who just jumped up in the 14th, which it was.
It was Godzilla who just jumped up into 14th, as I think someone else ahead of him also jumped a position, but I'm not sure who or where. Trying to find anyone else who's coming towards the end of the lap. I'm not sure who's coming to the line now, but around the final corner, D Summers who is up on the time in the first two sectors, finds 3/10 and up into 13th.
Yeah, good time from the Cadillac there. Well, and again, the other new team on the Formula One grid, the newest one overall to Formula One. They're the only team that hasn't ever featured in Formula One. Of course, obviously they have now in the real life season, but in terms of as a whole, this is their first ever time experience in the Formula One realm. But Diggs in the Scarlet Ferrari, we've got a 104.8 to beat. What can the other Scarlet Ferrari do to force the response from their teammate? A 104.594. That is the time to beat as MB has come across the line, half a second down on their personal best. But that is a stonking lap time from the Ferrari man. Now, just the best part of I'm getting my maths mixed up. Just over 0.2 of a second clear of his teammate, who makes their way towards the end of the middle sector. Sci-Fi Mega Hype around the final corner, not improving. Oh, he's off. Oh my goodness me, what has happened?
The Aston Martin of Haroon was going slow on the racing line there, and Arrow was just gone into the back of him and out of the session.
Wow. Well, the main other contender for pole out of qualifying here, and probably it's just a lack of awareness, really, you have to say, from the Aston Martin, and something I'm probably sure is going to be a qualifying ban. That's probably what happens. That's normally what happens when you impede someone, but when you impede someone to that degree, to the point where they retired from the session. Arrow probably fuming with that. I mean, he's still got a good gap to Ansu, hasn't he, in the Cadillac? But I mean, nonetheless, it's just now going to be a massive kick in the side.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a massive kick in the side, as I've just switched onto our stream, and he isn't saying much. He's just a shake of the head and a stare at the screen. But yeah, it's interesting. Zara was 300th up in the first sector, and he was gaining in the second sector as well, by the looks of things. So it's a tough one to take for him, really, as we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But around where Haroon is now, just as you come in under that board above the head, which says Austrian GP, he was going slow on the right hand side of the track there, which Arrow was wanting to take, and he was not moving at all, and Arrow had to avoid him last second and just clip off the front tire, and he was gone. But
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's exactly that, isn't it? I mean, you expect the driver to move off the line, sorry button, and you don't know. You would expect the driver to move out of the way, as Haroon says, a 110.479. And he was using the battery there, so that was a legitimate attempt. As Raheem up next coming across the line, I think that was beginning another lap here in this qualifying session. The McLarens as well. F1 Mallard, someone who just jumped up the order, jumped up to P11 ahead of James, and then you've got the Alpine of James, actually a 10.5 up by the end of that middle sector, first sector. At the end of the middle sector, though, 0.4 of a second up, looking to usurp up into the top 5 here. You've got Dubsy as well, someone who is pushing on, maybe just going to go for that double recharge lap in this qualifying session. Godzilla's come around the final corner, but all eyes currently right now on James as he makes his way towards the end of the lap, and crossing the line, the Alpine outfit will go in there for the Enstone team up into the top 11. Lost a lot of time in that final sector, was 0.4 up at the end of the middle, then only improved by 400 at the end of it.
Yeah, it's Haroon 0.8 up in the first two sectors, so come down through turn 9 and 10 now, where all the Aston Martin go rounding the final corner, taking it very easy compared to what we've seen a few people doing today. And it's a 1 minute 10.1, that's 5 seconds lost in the final sector. Not 5 seconds, 5/10.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the most ideal time from the Aston Martin. That's probably him done, unless he's got a boatload more fuel in that car. There's a whole gaggle of cars right now in that middle sector here. F1 Maller's the leader there. He's improving by just shy of 0.2 of a second as he makes his way towards the final two corners on the circuit. Round turn 9 towards turn 10. A little bit of splash of battery to use on the run to the line, but that will go very quickly because of the nature of these regulations. Where can Maller go? Crossing the line, loses time in that final sector. The Red Bulls both starting to begin their next up in this qualifying session. Same as Nuki Boy. Both the Red Bull and the Mercedes, who are the lead of this trio, they're very close to each other here. So Dubsy is just beginning another lap here in qualifying as well. We've got Craig Conley as well coming around the final corners to try and improve from their current 13th position. But both McLarens ideally want to find improvement. 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session, and I'm quite surprised we've got as many cars on track as we do.
Yes, this is As you were saying earlier, Austrian being the shortest track on the calendar, this is where it really shows the difficulty of it. Everyone is going to start tripping up over each other on these final runs and qualifying. Everyone wanting to get that fastest lap. As you can see here, Diggs again held up a little bit by one of the Audis leaving the pit lane. So as I was making that point, it's showing us Diggs now backs out that lap.
Yeah, Nuki Boy in the Mercedes making his way towards the two final corners. Round turn 9 and towards turn 10 we go once again in the Red Bull Ring. Use the slight slipstream from one of the Red Bull cars as we make our way over the line with Nuki Boy, his brother currently in P5 and he'll remain in P7. The Red Bull's up next to begin their next lap here. There's plenty of time for drivers to pit and get back out onto the circuit here as Sci-Fi Mega Hype comes across the line to begin another lap in this qualifying session. Likewise with MB and D Summers, I believe that was coming across the line, doesn't improve, beginning another lap here in qualifying. Craig Conley improving by best just under 2.5 tenths, crossing the line to go into the top 9 there for the McLaren outfit. And the championship leader is beginning another lap here in qualifying, and then we will go to the Aston Martin, only improving by 2.5 tenths of a second. Round the final corner, foot to the floor, crossing the line. A bit realistic in terms of the pace we've seen from the Aston Martins. P21 for Haroon in the Aston. All about Diggs did that double outlap. So again, we've seen that a lot, haven't we? Because of the short circuit, maybe they're struggling really to get that temperature into the tyres here in the Red Bull Ring.
Yeah, as that does seem to be what it is, and it does seem like those who have done that have been getting the better lap times. Obviously, it's adding that extra little bit of tyre wear to the tyres, but if it's giving you the lap time, then you've got to take it.
Yeah, exactly. Sci-Fi Mega Hype across the line to improve to 9th position. Likewise with their teammate over in Meads, who comes across the line, doesn't improve. Maybe just beginning another lap here. MB's just gone into the top 3, by the way, as their brother comes across the line to go into P8. Techno is coming around the final couple of corners, not improving on their current lap times as well as the Racing Bulls beginning another lap here in the Red Bull Ring. F1 Mallard likewise coming around the final corner, the championship leader as well. So that was Craig Conley actually, just crossed the line. Techno, the championship leader, beginning another lap here in qualifying. Up next, I believe we've got Lanky in the Haas. No, we have not. Who have we got up next? Is it actually the other Cadillac? Who is the other Cadillac? Where is the other Cadillac? It is, I have no idea.
Raheem to the line, Northy also coming down to the line now. Binds 2 tenths and up in 16th place currently.
Yeah, good time there for Northie. Not major improvements there as Hayes goes up into the top 6. And what about Diggs then? Again, going for a third outlap here on these tyres. But anyway, we'll watch around the final couple of corners there. The Williams or Ellis just made it to the flag. D. Summers has retired from the session here. So cards to everyone apart from Mallard and Ansu on laps. Actually, Mallard didn't make it to the line. Ansu, I believe, someone just came across the line to improve on their time. Diggs now pushing on as well. MB will not be improving anymore. So many cars now crawling into that pit lane. Alpine up next. Of I believe it will be, I have no idea, I didn't actually see. It was James, doesn't improve on their position. Techno, around the final couple of corners here, the Racing Bulls of Godzilla went up into 14th ahead of James. What can the championship leader do? It's all or nothing now. In the dying ends of qualifying, over the line with the championship leader, only 10th position for Techno. To the Audis now. Northie not improving. Raheem 0.6 of a second to the good on their personal best. Foot to the floor, crossing the line for the Audi outfit. Crossing it now, only 17th for Raheem. Audi 17th and 19th on the grid here in qualifying. What about Diggs, the man on provisional pole position, down by 0.5 tenth of a second. The Williams as well ahead of Ollie Bean. Is he improving? I don't think he is. We go to Diggs now, rounding the final corner, crossing the line. Can he improve? He improves by a margin of such minuscule gaps, but gets another time. Another 104.5 on the board, and that is a monumental time, a monumental gap as well in the Red Bull Ring, and it is. That's qualifying done. It's Diggs on pole, ahead of Arrow. And the question's asked, what would have happened if Arrow didn't have that incident in qualifying? Nonetheless, though, still a Ferrari front row lockout. And that'll be perfect for the Maranello one. I've lost my words.
But yeah, very good for the Ferrari team 1-2, even though Arrow did go out. And as you said, it'll be interesting what would happen if Arrow didn't go out. Could Arrow have took pole? Could Arrow have been closer and challenged for the pole? Lots of questions, but what matters for Ferrari most is they've secured the 1-2 here. Craig Conley with a 5-second penalty, or 5-place grid penalty, in fact.
Yeah, okay, so it's Diggs on pole from Arrow, Ferrari front row lockout, then it's MB and Ansu, Haas lockout that third row in fifth and sixth, then it's Hayden and Mead, Ollie Bean and the championship leader Techno in P10, then it's Nuki Boy from Cypher, Craig with a 5-place penalty, Godzilla, James, Mallard, Raheem, Summers, Northie, Ellis, Andreas, and Haroon will be at the back row. We've got Aston Martin, like what we've seen a lot, said to say in 2026, lock out the back row of the grid.
I mean, every team has. There's always one team which has to be at the back, and if it's a back row, then so be it. But front row and a back row lockout, in fact, that's a little bit just a little bit funny there. As a good evening to everyone watching.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
well,
now. Question.
race day.
Go ahead.
Race day. I was going to say, welcome in, Ash, to the Twitch. Hope you're doing well. My friend, welcome back to the WHF circuit here. So, circus, not circuit. Every single driver at the minute says they're on the hard tyres. There we go. Oh my god, the Aston's on the soft. Goodness gracious me. Raheem's on the medium compound tyre, but everyone else, apart from Arrow, still on that hard compound tyre here. The question I did want to ask you today, though, because we've got Ferrari front row lockout, you had the question of if Arrow didn't get clattered, let's say, in qualifying. Let's use that as the term we're going to go with. He could have easily had pole if he didn't have it. But nonetheless, who do you reckon will take the Grand Prix victory? And to answer your question, ask yes, it is Rio and Jedi.
I think it'll be one of the Ferraris, but we can't overlook MB, who's fastest off the rest behind. You know, I've seen it in Tier 3 previously. Arrow has very good qualifying pace, but he's prone to the odd mistake during the race. So I haven't seen Diggs race before, so I don't know if he's similar. But I mean, you got Techno. He's down in 10th, but he is the championship leader. Perhaps he could find something in this race to have a little bit of a comeback to show why he's a championship leader.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it begs the question: what can the Belgian driver do from P10 on the grid? I mean, you got drivers like James, Raheem, drivers who you expect really to see at the sharp end here. I mean, I remember commentating one season, Tier 2, when James, who was Tier 3 at the time, came and won the Tier 2 Azerbaijan Grand Prix, stepping up, was the Tier 3 drivers champion. But yeah, like you mentioned, Arrow is probably one of the favourites here. You can never discount Diggs as well, because you don't fluke a pole position unless you're the only driver that goes out on dry conditions when after wet conditions on soft tyres. But yeah, I mean, like MB, Ansu, you can't count them out. Hayes as well did well to qualify in P7. I currently see Dubsy on the soft compound tyre here, so maybe predicting the chaos in the Red Bull Ring. Nonetheless, though, unsure for when we are readying up. Ollie Beans just told me he's going to let me know when the timer is ticking down for when we go racing. Race prediction from Arrow. Arrow in first, Diggs in second, and to P3. We got the timer now. Pierre Paris, commentary king, absolute cinema. Anyway, what am I? Yeah, hang on. Yeah, Ollie's just told me the countdown's happening. Anyway, not too long till we go racing in the Red Bull Ring. The countdown is here, and we go to the 5 red lights. 36 laps to come. 5 lights on, and the Red Bull Ring. And we will go racing because the waiting is over. Towards turn 1, seems to be a good start from WHF Arrow. Towards turn 1 we go. It's side by side for the lead of the Grand Prix. The inside line favours the Irishman, who goes through to the top spot here on lap number 1. Make the run now down towards turn number 3. Further behind, yellow flags because Nuki Boy is disconnected from the session. On the run towards turn number 3, though, the Ferraris looking to do battle as well. The Mercedes looking to go around the outside. The Ferraris did do side-by-side battle momentarily. Then Dubsy going wheel to wheel on the rundown now towards turn number 4. Dubsy on the hard tyres, attacking the Cadillac on the medium combat tyres. Side by side, we go for second position as well. MB on the inside, and the Pulsar to shuffle down into third position here. Dubsy momentarily as well, getting past Ansu on the rundown now towards turn number 6. Back on the inside, the Pulsar will re-challenge, but the Mercedes, with the grip advantage on the outside line, will be able to hold that position. Hayes on the inside as well, trying to make the move on Ansu. Ansu struggling on this opening lap. Towards turn 9 and turn 10 we go. Ollie Bean now looking to get involved on Mr. Racing Bulls. Towards the final corner we go. Dubsy looking for the move as well on Diggs. Through the final corners we go. Arrow's got a 1.1 second lead. He's absolutely flying in the opening stages.
Certainly, as further back, there was driver Northie has now dropped back. I'm not sure what happened there, but Andre, very slow start from him. He was about 2 seconds off the back of everyone up into turn 1. The current championship leader Techno involved in a little bit of a battle with Amit and Haroon making up a couple of positions up the race start as Godzilla has just dropped a few positions as there's carnage into turn 3.
Yeah, Ansu and Hayes again ran momentarily wheel to wheel. MB's got that gap down to 8 tenths of a second further behind Raheem, going wheel to wheel, I believe, with Nuki Boy on the run now down towards turn number 4. Randy outside the Cadillac of Summers is actually going to try on Raheem, and Summers was a bold, a brave, a brilliant move here in Austria. So up into P13, he goes further ahead. Ollie B makes a move on the inside at turn number 7. You don't see many moves there, as now we see Ansu looking to re-challenge the Williams towards turn number 9. We will go and Ansu will get back through again, and Arrow has got that gap back up to 1.1 seconds. Maybe different uses of the battery here, but as we come across the line to start lap number 3, the battery difference between P1 and 2, 30%.
As Diggs down the inside into turn 1, although MB had a little look for a switchback, couldn't make anything happen, but you'll have the run up towards turn 3 through turn 2 now.
Yeah, looking for it.
As he had a little look. I thought he was going to try a low dive. He decides against it as Diggs ran a little bit wider on the exit there, letting MB close the gap a little bit, but Diggs now with a better pace out of the corners further back. That was yellow flags temporarily, as that is the Aston Martin of Haroon dropping positions, and Nuki Boy down to 21st.
Yeah, I think it was Godzilla actually. It's for the lead of the Grand Prix. Arrow's made a mistake. Oh my word, switchback. The two Ferraris doing battle. Diggs tried to make the move on the pair of them. Arrow lost time, and Arrow did the switchback with their teammate. Diggs was sent sliding through the apex of turn 6, and Arrow went down to second, got back the lead. MB will say thank you very much and retake that lead of the Grand Prix here. But that was so close. A disaster for the Scarlet Ferraris here. But yeah, it was a bit of chaos there. I think it was Godzilla maybe got sent sideways. As far behind, Andreas and Norvi running wheel to wheel. Raheem as well, going side by side round the final corner we go. Summers will ease him on by, but for the lead of the Grand Prix, it's game on. Arrow, we're not sure what really happened to him here, as we make the run now down in towards turn number 3. MB getting close, but on this occasion not close enough. Jedi, if you can you invite Nuki, please?
If I have him added, yeah.
I mean, if you could go into tier 2 chat, maybe tell him that as your EA. So further by side between Mead and Lanky. Red Bull v Haas. Towards the front of the field we go. MB having a little look for the move. Further behind, Ansu as well. Going on the inside line. Trying to make the move past the Haas as we run side by side. Oh, into the gravel. Into the gravel goes Dub Z. And his AI car, it looks like, has gone off and he's dropped down into P12 in this race. MB, meanwhile, I've missed it. MB's taken the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix, using that battery to full effect. And the Scarlet Ferraris have been dispossessed of their 1-2. Arrow, who led the opening 3 laps, is now advantage silver arrows in the Red Bull ring, like George Russell did for the Mercedes outfit in 2024 and 2026. It's now a silver car who leads the way as we make our way towards turn number 1. Arrow will maybe look to try and re-challenge it. Absolutely similar on the batteries. Now we make the run down in towards turn number 3. He's going to be gaining in the slipstream all the while. Will he be close enough to try and make a move to the inside line? Here, the lifting coasting from the Scarlet Ferrari engine. On this occasion, not close enough. Yellow flags are behind because, oh my word, I think that's Dub Z who's gone off, clattering the polystyrene boards. And Dub Z just falling down the order on that hard tyre. Unsure, really, what's happening to the Haas drivers. Further for the lead of the Grand Prix, the top 3 slowly starting to streak away now from Ansu in the Cadillac. Gap 1.0 seconds. Coming down slightly on the run towards turn number 6. The pole time was a 104.5. Seb, thank you. Welcome on in as well, my good friend. It's quite upsetting to see you not racing here today. It would be nice to see you in this fight for the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. The top 3, though, are split by just under half a second as we make the way towards the final corner on board with your pole sitter around turn 9. And towards turn number 10, we will go. Arrow, listen, putting and applying so much pressure on the Mercedes as we make the run towards turn 1. Are we going to see a change of even second position because Diggs getting close once again, but on this occasion, not close enough?
Yes, further back, the championship leader Techno up into 7th, and he's starting to make his way.
Sorry to butt in there. Sorry for the lead of the Grand Prix. Apologies, button in there. Arrow goes through into P1, goes deep on the brakes, switch back by MB, gets the power down, and moves back into first position here. Diggs as well, looking to make the move. The two Ferraris doing battle towards turn 4. Outside for one, inside for the other. Side by side they run, trying the old switcheroo out of 4. Flat through 5 towards turn 6. Diggs will back out of it. Arrow will hold second position. section, but that's the first re-challenge for the lead we've seen. That's further behind Ollie Bean, going all the way around the outside. If he can make it stick with a bold, a brave, a brilliant move from the Williams driver.
As he doesn't seem to have the batteries, and to fly straight back into fourth, and that is what happens when you overuse the battery in an overtake in this regulations car. But Ollie on the inside in the final corner and gets back up into fourth.
Oh, for second.
Bring quite a good battle.
For second, Diggs goes through. The Ferrari swap around. Maybe strategic calls here to let Diggs on that hard tyre get the lead. And now on the run towards turn number 3. Hayes gets past Ollie, but we don't care about that. We're watching the lead of the Grand Prix as Diggs goes on the inside line and takes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. Now, can MB set the switchback and re-challenge towards turn 4? The pole sitter back to where he started, but is the straight line speed enough as Godzilla's the latest to disconnect? Towards turn 4 we go. Shows the nose to the inside line, but not brave enough to go late on the brakes. Nuki's rejoined the session here as one disconnects, one rejoins as we go towards turn number 6. On this occasion, nothing doing then. The hard tyres now coming in to a league there. I'm further behind. Ollie Bean running wheel to wheel with the championship leader. Techno doing battle there further behind as well. Lanky going wheel to wheel. Summers another one who is now disconnected from the session as well. At the lead of the Grand Prix though, 1 second already.
Yeah, it's Diggs starting to use them hard tyres to the advantage, and you just have to wonder, have those medium runners overrun as Ollie being the first time penalty off the race and Diggs fastest lap off the race as well?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the hard tyres definitely in a league of their own now. Arrow looking to re-establish the Scarlet Ferrari 1-2. We saw it almost come to ruptures at turn number 6 in the opening stages between the Ferraris. And now, since justice order has been restored, since Arrow and Diggs did swap positions and then Diggs took the lead and absolutely gaps away, we're now looking at Arrow trying to re-challenge for second in the race, and this will be perfect for maximum points for the Constructors World Championship here. Further behind, Craig Conley running wheel to wheel with MNX James on the run now down towards turn number 4. Nothing doing there into the context of going wheel to wheel anymore. Further back to the fight for second and third in the race. Ansu has been dispatched by 2.5 seconds now by this fight for the podium positions here. Is to make the run now down towards turn number 9. Again, Arrow just saying sat and tucked up behind, looking at the steering wheel from both MB and Arrow. They have more or less the exact same battery here, and this is perfect for Diggs now. Comparing the lap times, a 108.528 for Diggs and then a 109.1, a 0.6 of a second gain by the Scarlet Ferrari on that hard compound tyre, just showing how OP these hard tyres are in the Red Bull Ring.
Yeah, it's interesting enough looking at the information I have for here. Lap 6 is around when that crossover point from mediums to hard are, so Diggs has done well. He's stayed with them, and now that crossover point is around that time. He's made the move, got in the lead, and he's now starting to run away. It's just whether or not Arrow can get up into second, although Arrow seems to be just struggling a little bit to keep up with the Mercedes, just dropping a little bit of time, then regaining it. The gap staying in and around 0.7 of a second.
Yeah, Raheem running with almost free wide. It is free wide. Onto the grass goes the Alpine. The McLaren on the inside line. Craig Conley looking for the pair of free wide. 3 into 1 doesn't usually go. They've all came out alive. As I say that, they will bang between Alpine and McLaren. James and Craig making contact there. Dubsy will say thank you very much. I'll take the Perriers. As the Alpine will look to sail all the way around the outside. And on lap 9, gets his way back up into 14th, but after almost coming to blows with the McLaren. Make our way back to the fight for second position, like you did rightfully say. MB slowly starting to pull away now from Arrow, but maybe different battery gains here. Maybe Arrow optimising the middle sector. Yellow flags are behind because Nuki Boy has spun his Mercedes around. Unsure what has happened to the Silver Arrow. Maybe dipping a wheel in the gravel on the run through turn number 7. But back to this fight further behind. Hayes gets through on Ansu, and then Amid going wheel to wheel with Tekla, the championship leader, going for the old switcheroo out of turn 3 with a lovely up and under move. Ollie Bean as well, now looking to make this move in Ansu towards turn number 4. We will go absolutely shocking camera angle I've got on the inside. Ollie Bean will try the outside line, will favour the Cadillac in terms of momentum. They give me the shocking camera angle for both cars. Oh my word. EA, what are we doing? Anyway, Ollie Bean gets through into 5th position, and Ansu was momentarily fighting for third in the early stage of this race. As now we see Ollie Bean with a lovely run through turn 7, flat through 8 towards turn 9. Ollie Bean gaining all the while, but can he get close enough into turn number 9 and turn number 10? No, he can't. Arrow is getting that much closer though. Have a look at the telemetry momentarily. 48% for Arrow as we turned it on, and then extra 20% for the Mercedes into the pit lane. Now, our first pit stops of the day. It is both the Red Bulls. Oh no, that's a strategy blunder.
Oh, that is a very big strategy blunder from the Red Bulls. Unless there's damage.
I can't see any front wing damage. I mean, it didn't look that bad actually. But he would have got a 1.8 second stop nonetheless, because that's what happens when you have that thing. Jedi, could you invite Mr. D Sommers as well, please? You're on invite duty.
Seeing it. I am seeing it. I am trying to get them to add.
Let's go. Oh, side by side. Here we go. Ansu going wide. Techno getting through into 6th position. The championship leader is making the moves here. Going up now into 6th position after the Red Bulls dispatched away. Unluckily though, for Amit, he's come out on the train with Ellis and Andreas. Further behind though, Arrow is now boxing. Arrow is going for that undercut strategy. And Jedi, this is maybe suggested to me we could be on for a 2-stop race here. Considering how early they're having to pit and how quickly those medium tyres did fade away. Are we now seeing the 2-stop strategies be deployed here because the hard tyres seem that much better?
I certainly think so, and I mean, seeing how much Diggs is pulling away on the hards, I think the mindset of a lot of these drivers now are the hards are the way to go in this race, and a 2-stop strategy, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, medium, hard, mediums maybe, or the softs won't last long, but if they can take the hards long enough, the hards do last. Maybe softs near the end.
Yeah, I mean, something I'd expect to see side by side between Raheem and James through turn 3. We go very late on the brakes, goes the Alpine, up and under attempt from PLG Raheem on the run down now towards turn number 4. On this occasion, you see the rear light flashing from the Alpine to notify he's got no battery on that Ownstone car. It's Arrow, who just pitted, dives on the inside line. Raheem will try to fight this one. Yellow flags behind because Godzilla spun the car. As that happens, Arrow gets through into 10th position here. Now just absolutely shoving the Alpine through. 2 taps of the rear. Back comes the Audi back on the inside line, but he will back out of that one. And then this is not ideal here. The Mercedes of MB will carry on. Now we make the run down in towards turn number 9. Yeah, the Alpine is looking to come into the pit lane. Around the outside, Arrow will go. Not making contact. Going through cleanly, and has now got a little bit of clean air before he catches up to the rear of Craig Conley in the McLaren. Lanky and James into pit road as well for the net third on the race. Here comes Hayes diving on the inside line, wheel to wheel. Now the Ollie Bean will attempt another switcheroo, and it's sensational, scintillating action in the Red Bull ring. Another switchback there from Ollie Bean, but Hayes will not want to give this one up. We'll look for the inside dive. We'll go for that audacious dive under braking. Yellow flags behind because Racing Bulls and Godzilla's gone off the road again. They run side by side through towards turn 6. Hayes will not want to give this one up. So close to wheel banging through turn 6 to turn number 7. There's the Racing Bulls off the road of Godzilla there. Yellow flags away. Just like a jump scare that.
I'm actually trying to see, there's no visible puncture or anything to Godzilla, so I'm not sure what is actually gone wrong with the Racing Bulls car, but Ollie Bean into the pits now, off the medium tyres and onto the hards. It's spec like everyone else is doing.
Yeah, well, Con's definitely shafting his own race, I'd say. He's got 20 seconds of penalties now for track limits, so unsure what he's doing there. But anyway, back for round whatever it is with this battle between Hayes and this time Techno into turn number 3. This occasion, though, the championship leader's actually up into third. Godzilla's now got another 10-second penalty. And if we just look at penalties here, 30 seconds for the Racing Bulls. That's quite impressive here in Austria. And then he retires. There we go. About time he did retire here. Hayes looking for a re-challenge through turn 4. This occasion, if you on board, but look at the state of those front tyres on that Racing Bulls, though.
Yeah, that Racing Bulls is certainly feeling the tyre wear, I'd suspect now, as Techno on his mediums is looking his mediums are looking a lot nicer, I'd say, as he's been keeping out of the battle. He's just been waiting for mistakes ahead of him, so I'm just wondering if he's managed his tyres a little bit better, and he may try to go for the one-stop, as I
Yeah, exactly.
think the one-stop window opens
I think it's open now.
around. It's open now. It's still up 13 to 16 is the one-stop window for mediums. 20 to 24 is the one-stop for hards.
Oh, into the barrier. The Audi and the Williams, Raheem and Ollie being came together. I just saw them scatter off together, and that's big front wing damage for Raheem. Yet to make his pit stop here, but that's the worst place to have. He's now got the whole lap to do with front wing damage. That's the worst possible scenario there. Ollie being luckily, and no, I say luckily, he's lost his whole end plate. Has the Williams man here. 3-second penalty for Haroon in the Aston Martin there. As we look for any battles on the circuit, the closest one I think is actually for last place right now between Northey and Ellis as we head down towards turn number 1. As there is a noseless Williams there for me. Ellis has no nose, but he's got a front wing. Make it make sense. As actually, we'll look at the battle now for P11 between Sci-Fi Mega Hype and Lanky as Northey has just picked up a 3-second penalty. Scratch that. Lanky and Raheem run wheel to wheel, and Lanky will say, thank you very much, I will take that one. Raheem, though, will want to get through very quickly as well. Will look to use the battery, but can't do anything here. He's going to hamper the time here. Yellow flags behind us. The Aston Martin has spun the car. I want to have a look where that is. I think that is actually Andreas who spun on the exit of turn 4, entry to turn 5, which he has. Now it is a Ferrari 1 and 2 here in the Red Bull Ring. And MB comes out quite a solid chunk behind Arrow here. Ansu, even with those 4 laps to try and undercut MB, has not done that. And you've got to say, MB's looking in the best position here. 15 laps still on the medium, 21 laps to use the hard compound tyre here. He's looking at the best spot because the hards, we saw how well they performed, especially on Diggs' Ferrari. Definitely a contender, or without a doubt, I said not even a contender, it's just a plain sailing tyre to be on, isn't it, the hard tyre?
Definitely, and considering they can go around 25 to 26 laps or so, he's got a good amount of time here. 19.5 seconds is the pit lane loss here, so if he continues to gain well here on the hard to start with, he may not necessarily be in that pit window when Diggs pits, but he will not be far off the back of him when he comes out of the pits.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Techno as well, another one. The championship leader, we have to highlight. He's doing really well right now. Ollie Beam was that damage. He's looking here, baby, at a net P5. Oh my god, the Arrow spun the car. Arrows at the moment on the exit of turn number 1 has another half spin, and that's going to allow the Mercedes of MB and Ansu to sail on through. And I was just about to highlight, if you include Arrow, who could be on the 2-stop here, as we look further behind, Techno getting close to the rear, going to the inside, sailing on through, and Techno, if you're including Arrow now, he's staring maybe at a net podium. Ansu's got a pit again, no doubt. He's not going to the end on that medium combat tyre. Ollie Bean, though, is going to continue to try and fight this one on the run towards turn number 4. Will he go brave to the inside line? On this occasion, no. Won't try to make it. But, yeah, Arrow with that spin. He's got the oldest tyres of the... out of the drivers who have pitted along with Ansu. The top of the... So from 2nd down to 8th, I'm trying to say, if English would like to English. Arrow has the oldest tyres between P2 to P8 here. Lanky close second with 4 laps, but then you've got like Ollie Bean on 3, but then you've got Techno, who's on a single lap on that set of hard tyres, but could be staring at a net podium here for the championship leader in a race where didn't seem he's got the pace. I think he should be delighted if he does get a podium.
Oh, he should definitely be delighted if he gets a podium here, and it's going to be an interesting one near the end, as you said, Ansu most likely will have to pit again. Arrow is going to be close to whether he pits again or not on these hards. It depends how much damage that spin did to him, and that bit of a lock up as well. If he keeps locking up like that, it's going to add a little bit more damage.
Oh my word! Oh my god, sorry to butt in there. Oh, my Hayes went so late on the brakes, almost. Just absolutely did what I think it was Alonso did to Charles Leclerc Sauber in Spa. Just completely almost went into the rear of him. That was a very scary moment for Hayes there. Luckily, no front wing damage, and is lucky to escape without anything there. Arrow's now locked back in, safe to say, after that spin. Someone in the chat said Arrow spin confirmed. I have no idea who that was. If we have a look, it was Scones who said Arrow spin confirmed. So, Scones, you've cursed the poor man. Nonetheless, towards turn 9 and turn 10, we will run. Diggs is doing a phenomenal stint. Lap 19, he is on those hard tyres. He's actually got a lot of lap traffic now. Just gone past the Haas and the Mercedes of Nuki and Dub Z. Nonetheless, though, he gets another lap car out of the way. So we see side by side actually between Dubsy and the Audi. Sorry, I just cut away from it momentarily. Northie and Dubsy run wheel to wheel. Now on the rundown, he's now looking to try and attack the race leader. Towards turn 6 we go. Diggs will say, thank you very much. I'm not going to have you battling. I'm going to turn in either way. And he's through past the lap cars. He's got like, quite a bit of clean air now, but with Dubsy on those new tyres, will he maybe be worrying that maybe he's going to come back at him? Towards turn 4 we will go. Arrow will go diving on the inside line. Yet again, another shocking camera angle. Through the Ferrari. We'll leave the space. Side by side they run. Ansu will continue to fight this one towards turn 6 on this occasion. Arrow through and is back up into P3 in the race here. But the championship leader, one of Arrow's rival for the title, as you could say he is, not too far away, is he?
Definitely not, and I mean, it's as I was saying for that first stint on the mediums, he's trying to wait for mistakes of those in front to capitalise. That's how he got up into 7th before the pit stop. Now up into 5th, of course, having just managed to get on strategy as Lanky with 3 seconds. But yeah, Techno, he's having a quiet race, but he's having a good race at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Ansu got... Oh, he goes again!
That's Arrow.
There he goes again, and into the barrier this time. Arrow spinning the car, and, well, any hope of a podium gone in an instance. I just went on board there as Hayes and Ollie being ran wheel to wheel. Hayes goes through, then he does side by side on the braking. Outside line will favour the Racing Bulls as they go towards now turn number 4. The inside line will go defensive to the Williams as Hayes will now look around the outside line. The battery favours the Racing Bulls as well. Side by side they run towards turn 4 and around the outside Hayes will go in towards 5th position in the race as your race leader comes in a bit early, doesn't he? Or from those hard tyres?
A couple of laps earlier than I think would have been recommended for him, but if he feels like he can take the mediums to the end, then, I mean, the gap was starting to close quite quickly between him and MB, so I'm just wondering if he pit to try and just hold on to that net race lead as of now, but I mean, similar strategy, both made it stop, so it's now just a case of who has the better pace. He will have the better tyres for the first few laps here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, it's the phase now. It's the question of now how much of a gap can Diggs pull? Because it's no question. Those hard tyres will, I think, be better towards the end of the course of this Austrian Grand Prix here. It's just the question of how much of a gap can Diggs pull. This camera angle was getting on my nerves. That on board was the halo into turn number 4. It's absolutely horrendous. You can't see anything with it. It's awful.
They are. I know the one you mean. I've had it a couple of times. I actually get on board with MP right now, but yeah, it's an awful camera angle, especially when there's a battle as Haroon into the pits again now for his second stop off the race, as he's got now a 10-second penalty to serve from the first speeding in the pit lane infringement. So that's going to cost him a bit of time as he in fact retires in that pit stop.
Only our second retirement here as we go side by side. Oh my word, through goes Ollie Bean and Hayes running wheel to wheel off the circuit. Goes Ollie Bean here. Hayes will say, thank you very much. You've got damage. You've gone wide. I'll take that position. Lanky as well, looking to get involved in the mix as he looks for the inside line. Can he make it stick? Side by side we run through turn number 1 and the Haas, the American outfit, will make the move. Skittles over the curb. Further ahead though for the podium. Techno goes through. Into 3rd position though, slightly deep goes Ansu in the Cadillac. Further behind, Lanky and Ollie Bean will continue to do battle, and Lanky will get that position back again on the Williams. Finally gets it done. Ollie Bean doing his signature special, it seems to be in the Red Bull ring, trying to get a switcheroo. This occasion though, I think it's the first time I'm going to say it this race. It's the first time it hasn't really worked for him. And speaking of gaps, something that is working as well, Diggs has got a 4.2 second lead.
That gap has doubled in the almost 2 laps he's been on the medium, so as his yellow flags, and that is that the Red Bull?
Yeah, it's him. He stopped on the circuit, the exit pulled off to the side as well, taking a questionable line to rejoin at the circuit. Was on the circuit, then left the circuit, then rejoined the circuit. 8 laps on this on the Red Bull, on those medium compound tyres. Into the pits comes Ansu, unsurprisingly. Another, again, 10 laps on that medium tyres. No, 11 laps, sorry. Not too shabby there. The decent stint. And we'll have the hard tyres to the end, so he will have the optimal race pace here. If you're Arrow, do you just try and stick it out to the end? Or do you go in for that second stop? If you've got another set of the hard tyres, do you go for it again as Amids gets a 3 second for multiple track limits? Do you go for another set of hard tyres to try and just revive this race, really.
I think if you've got another set of hard tires, I think you've got to go for it. If you don't have another set of hard tires, I think you've then got to try and just stick it out for the rest of the race. Because the tires will go to the end. Theoretically, he might have high wear as Amit is out of the race in the pit lane. So that's our third retiree off the race, unfortunately. But if you have another set of tires,
Oh,
I
Ellis
think
off
you've
as
got
well. Oh, that's big damage. Sorry to butt in there again. Massive damage for the Williams. Basically, half his front wing now completely gone here. And the question is, what do we have to do for a safety car? Is the main question here. Safety car would spice up this race, but nonetheless, Ellis, his race has gone from bad to worse. Second last now in the running order. Amit has left the session. He's given up a bit. Obviously, he retired a couple moments ago. In terms of battles on the circuit right now, the closest one will probably be this one between Ellis and Northey on the rundown now towards turn number 4. Actually, I think he's actually backed out of it. I think actually the race leader's lapping some cars, I believe. There he is. There is Diggs. He is lapping some people. On lap 24, you absolute sweat.
As in fact, Ollie Bean is getting close to Lanky again. There's only a couple of tenths between them, and F1 Mallard is on the back of this battle now as well.
To the inside goes Ollie Bean. The Williams looking for the move. Around the outside, the Haas with the fully functioning front wing will hold it towards turn number 6. We will rise. Ollie Bean with the battery advantage. Lanky with the inside advantage, but the momentum will favour the Williams. Minor wheel banging here on the run towards turn number 7. Lanky able to fend that first attack from the Williams, who, with that front wing damage, seems to not be wounded all too much as he looks around the outside of turn 8, looks for the outside towards turn 9, but the battery suboptimal in terms of how much he has got on that Williams right now. I mean, everyone's really struggling for the battery, aren't they, with these regulations?
Definitely, as that is the main part of race. As actually look at the steering wheel of the top 3. The top 3 aren't struggling too much. I mean, top 4 even Hayes isn't. It's when you get to like Lanky, Ollie Bean. Mallard's got the best battery in this battle. Just looking at the steering wheels, as he's now brought himself into this battle. He's going to look to try and set it almost 3 wide into turn 2 and 3, but around the outside of Lanky.
What a move. Great move there from the McLaren. And he's going to look for the double bubble here towards turn number 4, going on the inside, under braking, through goes Mallon, and 2 for the price of 1. It's like a Tesco meal deal, getting all the items you would want. Now we make the run towards turn number 6. Ollie B will say, thank you very much, you're out of battery, I learned to recharge and did it sector 1. I'm going to snatch that one back again. And it is quite frankly just the battery games, isn't it? Ollie Bean gets back through Mallard now. Is it Mallard's turn to use a bit of the battery on the run towards turn number 9? Oh, Mallard, you've ruined the streak. You're meant to go passing every single straight, but actually, here comes Lanky towards turn number 9. Arrow, I think Arrow is actually going to do that strategy of coming into the pit lane, but considering how late he's left it here in Austria, I think he's going to go to a set of the mediums, Jedi.
I think it'll be mediums as well as it's got to be mediums this late in the race, you'd have thought, but it is mediums, so yeah, he has gone to the mediums. I'm just wondering if he didn't have a second set of soft, so he was just holding off to go to the mediums, perhaps. But sitting on board with Craig Conley here, we're getting a great front row seat to the battle up ahead.
Yeah, as we go towards turn number 4. The 2 McLarens might swap around here. It's a Ollie Bean v Lanky. Perfect boat versus. There we go. Versus both Papaya McLarens here. Further behind, Ansu on those new hard tyres, getting close to the rear of LMX James. And, well, if we have a look at details, we can have a look at penalties. Techno, the championship leader, with a 3-second penalty, but he's got an 8.5 second gap. So he is on course here for a podium. The 2 McLarens do swap around here. On the inside goes Craig Conley, past F1 Mallard with an unusual overtaking spot. Nonetheless, he's got the move done. Has Craig Conley, side by side into the pit lane actually, comes Lanky again, maybe copying Arrow's strategy, wanting to defend against the undercut here. Into the pits comes Lanky in the Haas here. The McLarens as well seem to be swapping, because actually no, Mallard's also followed him into the pit lane here. So in the context of WHF Arrow here, who really could have been in contention for this win if he didn't have those mistakes. Round the final corner, we run with the Scarlet Ferrari here. Coming with it, has he undercut here? Has he undercut the McLaren and the Haas? Short answer, yes. He's done that quite easily here in the Red Bull ring. Then Lanky will come out of the pit lane quite the way away from WHF Arrow. And that one lap undercut has got Arrow a 4.8 second advantage over them all. as we run towards turn number 3. On this occasion, Lanky will stay ahead of Mallard. Mallard will look for the re-challenge though. But I did want to highlight Techno. Despite the poor qualifying for his standards this season, he's done very well, hasn't he, to recover to a podium.
He's done incredibly well, and I mean, it's a bit of luck with what's happened around him. But it's also good driving to keep himself out of any shenanigans, and Hayes is into the pits after 11 laps on the hard tyres. And a 10-second in the pit lane.
That's a questionable strategy, I think. I mean, if you've killed your hards after that, I really need to know what you've done to the poor hard tyres here in the Red Bull Ring. Because, I mean, Diggs did what, 20 laps on them? It's 19 laps on them, roughly, somewhat around that. Craig Conley.
20.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, so Craig Conley now looking to make this move. This is for a net P4, it's for P4 anyway, pen or not. But don't forget Ansu here. He's got 7 lap younger tyres compared to Craig Conley as Mallard and Lanky run wheel to wheel, and through goes Mallard as further ahead. Sci-Fi Mega Hype and Hayes running wheel to wheel. Arrow as well in this battle. The 2 Red Bull machines run wheel to wheel. Arrow will say thank you very much. I'll try and slot on the inside here on the rundown now towards turn 4. Battery being drained by the pair of them. Towards the braking zone we go, and Arrow will be fully ahead into the braking zone and into turn number 4. Arrow goes up into 9th, and it is just damage limitation now, isn't it, for the Ferrari man?
Definitely is, as Ferrari are going to pick up decent points from Diggs at the front, but Arrow, he's just got to do the best he can. It's looking like possibly 8th, maybe if he can push on with the mediums, maybe because James in 7th, but that's going to be quite the ask. But James does have them much older hard tyres than Arrow's medium, so be interesting where Arrow can finish here, as Sci-Fi Mega Hype with a time penalty just behind him, so that's going to help out for Mallard for 10th place.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Arrow he's probably staring at 8th as the maximum here in the Red Bull Ring as Craig Conley into turn number 9. Whilst you was mentioning over that, Craig Conley got through at turn 9 past the wounded Williams, so you could say, with that end plate missing. Techno has got the gap. He's probably got P3 secured here. The top 3 are probably set in stone here. Diggs has just been finding time after time, but only been thought of a sniff at the inside line here. This occasion, not close enough. As we run now down towards turn number 6, will Ollie Bean go for a dive towards that inside line. Risky to even go side by side as a whole through turn 6. But on this occasion, not close enough. Lanky and Mallard again running wheel to wheel. They're putting on a show here for 11th and 12th here. Mallard will opt to not use his battery here. Lanky will to get that momentary bigger of a margin. Arrow ahead, looking to get close to the rear of Hayes on the rundown now towards turn number 9, thinking of the outside line, but not really the car's width gap to go to that. He would be having to run to the grass if he wanted to have that outside line. Through turn 9 and turn 10, we go further ahead. Ansu getting very, very close to the rear of Ollie Bean. Little slide on the rear end from the Williams man, and now Ansu will be gaining in that slipstream, and it won't even be a contest in a straight fight. Ansu through into the top 5, snaps to the inside line to defend from the Williams, and now he got 1. Can he get the 2nd now on the rundown towards turn number 4? He's going to be gaining all the while with the usage of the battery, but will he go for a dive? Will he go for it on this occasion? No, not close enough. Just trying to flirt around in the mirrors. Further behind, Mallard and Lanky running wheel to wheel again. The outside line will favour the momentum on the traction, and Mallard will get back through, but then Lanky will look for the inside line, squeezing through, and the Haas driver will get back through into 11th position. Then Mallard will come back around the outside line, wheel to wheel in turn 4, flat through 5, and towards turn 6 we will now run, and Mallard, I think he's just got to position as we head through the apex at turn 6. Mallard through, back up into 11th here in the Austrian Grand Prix. Ansu as well, starting to continue to close up as Arrow makes the move into the pit lane as well. Comes LMX James here, getting off those hard combat tires. So Arrow's going to say thank you very much. I'm going to take a couple of positions here. Up into 7th position. We missed a dive bomb move, it looked like, at turn 9. As for 4th and 5th on the road, Ansu and Craig Conley run wheel to wheel. Arrow a 3-second time penalty for track limits as Ansu gets through into 4th position here and can surely now scamper off into the distance. Hayes as well will look to re-challenge him. He's just seen Arrow get that penalty. Hayes is going on the inside line. Wheel to wheel they run. barging out wide, Verstappen-esque in 2019. Run towards turn number 4. Wheel banging again down the whole straight. Hayes versus Arrow, the two Italian stallion teams, as Hayes dives it back on the inside line. Arrow leaves into space around the outside. The medium versus the hard tyre. Hayes not wanting to yield here. The outside line will be the offer to the V-Cub, sailing and trying to prance around the outside, but the grip will not be there on that high line. And Arrow able to fend off the Racing Bulls, and that is the first real attack we've seen from Hayes since Arrow got by.
Yeah, it's interestingly enough, look, Hayes has a 10-second compared to Arrow's 3 seconds, so Hayes is going to have to do quite the work if he was to try and get 7th position over Arrow at the end, but it's going to be close to where Hayes actually finishes. At the minute, it looks as if he's going to finish in 11th, I think, so he's got quite the work to do, and he's going to, the more he battles, the more time he's going to lose to those behind, and the more positions he'll lose.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, if we look, I've got Gap to leader up. If you add 10 onto that, he will be dropping. So, I mean, if you include the 3 second, maybe a top 10 on offer for Hayes. But, I mean, he needs to just not fight here. He needs to not fight to ensure that he can continue to build that gap to Lanky, because Lanky and Mallard, they're not giving each other an inch as well. They're continuing to scrap as well. Arrow's mediums, without a doubt, will be fading away. As speaking of that battle, side by side again, Mallard outside line offer to the McLaren. Lanky will be getting a bit frustrated here. He's got the 3 second penalty. He's thinking, why are you fighting this so much? But through he goes. Lanky back into that top 10. But I'm probably gonna predict. I'm probably gonna be. This probably gonna be like Sherlock. What Sherlock would say. They're probably not done yet, are they?
I definitely don't think they are. So I think they're going to. I wouldn't be surprised if they send a wheel-to-wheel down to the line at the end of it. As Ollie being ahead of Arrow has picked up another penalty, and it's just given Arrow that a little bit more hope of 6th place again.
I mean, there's a 12-lap tyre difference here, as now we have a lap car in the way. That is Ellis, and then they both go through. And now Hayes is looking again to the inside of Arrow. Wheel to wheel they run. Hayes again going deep on the brakes. Arrow getting shuffled wide to the edge of the circuit. They run down the straight, down in towards turn number 4. I think Arrow this time has yielded it, but using the battery, going back to the inside line, diving back through. The Italian teams do battle. They make contact. They tyre hook. Arrow trying to turn out of it. You saw the wheel hook there. Back comes Ellis as well. Free of Priest to the turn number 6. Arrow will sail all the way around the outside. The inside lane then for Hayes. Arrow has the outside line still for turn 7. Finally, the inside for turn 8. And then Arrow is able to get that position again, but Hayes is going to look to come back at him in towards turn number 9. And on this occasion, Hayes will settle in behind. We're heading on to, I believe, 3 laps to go. Diggs is at turn number 6, while his teammate is making his way down towards turn number 1. But maybe Hayes can re-challenge, as actually the Williams of Ellis is going on the inside. The lap car looking to get involved here, but an Arrow runs slightly wide. Hayes gets a 3 second for track limits. Towards turn number 4, towards number 3 we will go. Hayes has got the outside line. Woody switch to the inside line. Arrow holds that inside line. They run wheel to wheel again. Arrow giving a bit of oh my god, I've got my words. Hayes giving Arrow a bit of a taste of though. Medicine was the tyre hooking there as he make the run down in towards turn number 4. Arrow again coming back to the inside at turn 4. Side by side they run. Is it going to be a rinse and repeat of the previous lap? Not on this occasion. Oh, a massive tank slapper for the Racing Bulls here, and he's able to lose that position. Arrow able to gain that position, and Arrow, he's now within that 3 second of volley beam. But if they continue to scrap like this, is there always the chance they lose it?
There's certainly the chance they will lose it if they continue to scrap like this, as they've just got to be careful now, as the more they scrap, especially Arrow's got to be the most careful here, as the scrapping, Hayes won't mind too much, as he's not really in this battle for 6th position. It's Arrow who is, so Arrow needs to be careful and just keep his head here, not get dragged into the scrapping.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, once again, we'll go to this battle because I'm sure there's going to be something, surely. Maybe not on this occasion, actually. Maybe we'll see level peg and will Hayes go for a brave dive on the inside. No, he won't. Speaking of Ferrari and Arrow, his teammate is beginning the final tour of the Austrian Grand Prix. And safe to say, he's in command control, isn't he, of it?
Definitely is in control of it, as he really has been since he took the lead on, what was it, lap 6 of this race.
Arrow spun again. Arrow spun again. I just cut away from him there. I cut away from him as he spun the car. Arrow, well, he's basically just thrown away that sixth position. He should still maybe get. I mean, if you include Mallard not having a penalty, he will either be 7th or 8th. He's locked in now for P7 or P8. This is definitely a race to forget for Arrow. It could have been in pole, but he got, in a sense, taken out in qualifying. And this gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits here. Hayes now close to the rear of Ollie Bean, and towards turn 1 we will go with the Racing Bulls on this occasion. Will not be close enough, but through turn 1, can he get the exit as Ollie Bean wins that 6 seconds of penalties? Won't really mind if he gets bike and he knows he's going to get that position anyway. But we'll look as Hayes makes the move, look to the front of the field, and the Scarlet Ferrari, who qualified on pole position, has never looked back since he took that lead. And on the alternate strategy in the Red Bull ring, it is Victor for Diggs. For Ferrari prances first in Austria. Further behind, MB will come around the final couple of corners here. The Mercedes man was challenging for victory, was in a tight scrap in the early stages with both the Ferraris. The winning get margin, though, was not tight. Oh my god, he's almost DNF before the line. The championship leader will get a podium here in the Red Bull ring. He will be delighted as that. Ansu will make his way around the final couple of corners to come home to take P4. But we'll go back to this battle for P10 on the road. Lanky, can he maybe make this move? If James gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits, will Lanky maybe try and go for a brave send at the inside at turn number 10? Hayes a 10-second time penalty. That's unserved as we make our way towards Arrow. Gets 6th. Arrow got 6th. Moment for Mallard, the final corner. Drag to the line. And Lanky got ahead of Hayes. I thought it was a 98 milliseconds between those two. Hayes will drop down into 11th position. But 5 drivers per lap. Dubsy, Yuki Boy, Andreas, Ellis, and Northey. But Diggs wins the Austrian Grand Prix by 18.2 seconds. He was averaging a 2.5 lap gain based on that gap.
Yeah, that was immense performance from him. Did you say 2.5 a lap?
Sorry, half a second lap. Sorry.
That's what I thought. I was going to say half a second lap, but very good from Diggs there. I mean, Arrow, I don't know how he got 6th in the end after all of that, but somehow he managed it. But yeah, obviously, I think what was overlooked there, Techno. It's 10th to 3rd, championship leader, managing to scrap through to get a podium there, and it was a comfortable podium as well for him. So, I mean, all around, it was a good race. There was good battles everywhere, and good stories likes of, I mean, Diggs 18 seconds win, Arrows shenanigans throughout the race. Craig Conley 18th to 5th actually. Just
Yeah.
looking here now.
Great drive. I mean, I just looked at
So, yeah,
Diggs got fastest lap by a second as well. Just a note. It's insane.
That is insane. Yeah.
But nonetheless, good race there from everyone. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I hope everyone watching did too. Do we want to do some interviews? Does anyone fancy some interviews? If we have a look, I'll meet you in I'll meet you in tier 2 race party. Actually, no, tier 2 interview. Sorry.
Sounds good.
So as we now await some drivers to join the VC for what was, so to say, interviews after a scintillating Austrian Grand Prix. Safe to say we had the Ferrari winning by quite the margin. You had MB and P2, the championship leader, recovering to P3. But we've got the first man we've got here today is the man who finished P2. MB, firstly, congratulations on your podium. You got P2, probably the maximum you could have got based from what we saw from the Ferrari's pace today. How did that race overall go for you?
It gone pretty well, honestly. I thought I'm going to fight Elbow much more, but it seems like he had technical issues, so it was a pretty quiet race. Mid-race, I thought Techno was gonna catch me, but he had like one lap where he was pretty quick, and then he recharged his ERS apparently, because he stayed around 4.5 and 3.5 seconds. Otherwise, it was a pretty solid race, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you had the pace there. You were fighting in the early stages for the lead of the Grand Prix. We saw how close it was we saw how close it was between you, Arrow, and Diggs. I mean, I think we saw the Ferraris make contact, I believe, in the early stage. I saw Diggs sliding through turn 6. I mean, was it fun battling out there?
Definitely, it was. The drivers were respectful. Arrow did one mistake, I think, in turn 3. Braked a bit late, gave me the switchback. But I think in turn 6, Dix just spun around. I'm not sure though, because I didn't see any particles or something like contact.
Yeah, I mean, nonetheless, you did very well. Jedi, you got any questions for our man who finished P2?
You covered everything I was gonna ask, so I do not.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, I've lost English. Ladies and gentlemen, that is MB who finished P2. Up next, we've got the championship leader Techno, who went from P10 to P3. I mean, firstly, again, stellar drive, qualifying, didn't really seem at the pace, but then you turned up in the race, and it proves that qualifying pace is one thing, race pace is exactly another. How did that race go for you?
Good evening. First of all, thank you. Yeah, it was a great race. Really didn't feel comfortable again because I was struggling all day at turn 1 when I was practicing. So I gambled again on one stop. And so in the beginning of the race, I always take it a little bit easier, let the people fight in front, and hope they are going for a two stop. And at the end of the day, it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, did you expect people to go for the two stop, or did you think it was going to be a plain sailing easy one stop? We saw a lot of drivers who only did 11 laps on the hards, which I personally thought was quite surprising.
Yeah, when I was playing against the AI as practice, I managed to do one stop, but it was very tricky. Tires were around 70%. So one stop, yeah, was kind of tricky. So I expected people to be on one stop, but uh, most of the field I expected to be on two stop, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you did very well from 10th on the grid. Jedi, anything for our championship leader?
Nope, I do not.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is your championship leader, Techno, who, again, gets a very good result in the Red Bull Ring, getting P3. Next on, we'll move to the Raging King. Let's go to Ollie Bean, who had front wing damage for basically the whole Grand Prix and still was fighting very well. Ollie Bean, safe to say, did you have any crash outs and how did that race go?
I did crash out, yeah, because I feel like I had the pace, but I knew that I could make the hards go, and with everyone else doing the two stops, in hindsight, the podium could have been there. I could have battled with Techno with it because we were battling with, I believe, Hayes and Ansu. Ansu did the two stop, but and something else happened with Hayes. But yeah, I mean, the incident with Raheem, he basically lost it coming out of the final corner. I went to take evade in action, and he snapped it right back into my car, and we ended up collecting each other into the wall. But it could have been a lot worse. But I managed to just do my best with it, and it's a decent result considering the circumstances. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take it.
I think I actually caught that on the stream. I went up from my POV, just saw you and Raheem take a questionable line down the main straight. I don't know if you know, but you're not meant to turn on a straight. But yeah, nonetheless, it's visual damage. That's still an exceptional result, nonetheless. I mean, is it a race you're happy with?
It was, yeah. It could have been better, obviously, if I didn't have damage. I could have been up there fighting for the podium from, I think, P9 on the grid, which would have been a very good result. But I had a lot of fun battling. I'm starting to pick up these regs a little bit more. Not saying I like them, but I'm getting used to how they handle and how they drive.
What's wrong
And
with
I'm
them?
managing the battery a lot better. But yeah,
I mean, yeah, but
I'm getting there.
nonetheless, still a very good result. Jedi, you got anything for Mr. Raging King?
No, I don't.
Right, well, that was
Well,
Ollie Bean then.
I'll put the crash out in the chat. Don't worry.
Yes. Right, moving on. Ledgeman, welcome in, my good friend. Obviously, how did your race go today?
I mean, that was my debut race of the season because when F126 came out, I'd done about one day of it and hated the cars. So I haven't touched them again.
Am I the
until
only
now.
one that likes the
And
cars?
you actually are. And then I got reminded why I hate these cars. It's just not the battery isn't even that deep for me. I just hate the way they handle and the braking on them. like the battery isn't my favorite. I don't like that I'm letting people necessarily overtake me because I know, oh yeah, I'll get them back on the next straight. But it's just the way they handle. I just hate it. I really struggle under braking here. Kept on going wide. Picked up so many track limits pens because I just straight up would just understeer straight off the track. Mostly a skill issue, but yeah, I am really considering even carrying on with these cars and just waiting for the next one because I hate them. But generally, I had some good battles. Obviously, I was really trying to stay out of that Arrow and Hayes battle near the end where they went wheel to wheel. I think they overtook me exit of turn 3 and went wheel to wheel for that entire rest of the lap. And I was stuck behind them on 100% battery, lifted off at like 200 meters to not go past them. And at one point, I accidentally went past them because they came out so slowly going wheel to wheel. But I saw some good battles and then fucked it on turn 1 myself and went up a barrier.
Language.
Well, tut tut
Binned
tut.
it turn 1 and went up a barrier, smacked off my wing. But other than that, it was a pretty decent race. Generally happy with it. Definitely could have gone worse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want much more to ask. Jedi, you got anything for Mr. Ledgeman?
Nope.
Right, final interview of the day then. Mr. Lanky. Is he lanky in real life? We'll never know. But
I
yeah.
am.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'2", but only weigh 8.5 stone.
I'm taller. I'm taller getting. Anyway,
So that's what makes me lanky because I'm so thin.
anyway, I can't lie. I kind of forgot where you finished. But how did your race go today?
As I heard that you've seen the battle, I had a great battle with Mallard. I
Yeah,
wanted to battle him for it because obviously I don't know his warning situation. He could pick up a 3 seconds anytime. So I would hate myself if I let someone go and then see them with a penalty and be like, oh, I could have been fighting for that position. So it was fun. Not ideal start. First stint was a bit sticky. I dropped back a couple of positions, but yeah, I just wasn't expecting my tires to wear so much. The hards on the second stint were disgusting once they got to about 60%.
yeah. I mean, it was a day of tire wear. I think it was. I mean, there were different strategies. I think with these cars, it's definitely easier to do one-stop strategies because of how. Because I mean, the Lyco does the work on the fronts for you, and then you have to just like short shift to do the rears. But is there anything different you would have done today, or would it have been just? Is that basically how the race was expected to go?
No, I can't really think of anything different other than that first stint. I just didn't get the mediums fired. They just didn't feel how I expected them to feel. So I was a bit understeery, and that cost me a couple of positions to begin with. So other than that, there's nothing else I could really think of doing differently. Maybe if I knew Mallard's battery situation, we wouldn't have battled as much and could have tried to catch up to a couple of the guys ahead. But coming out of turn 4, I just got such better drive than Mallard. It kept putting us up side by side.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite fun to watch that battle. But I haven't really got much what to say. Jedi, yourself?
Nope. I don't think there's
Well,
actually one thing.
oh, go on then.
I was going to. Where did you actually finish? Because I don't think either of us can remember.
I think it was 10th.
I can't. Yeah, it was either there or 11th. I can't fully remember myself because I swapped with Hayes, didn't I? Just so I think maybe scraped 10th or around there anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you did well. I mean, considering the battling you had, did well to finish in that position. But actually, I don't have access to this, but I'm hoping Arrow has sent my message to go and raid someone on the Twitch. But nonetheless, Tier 2 was done and dusted. We had quite a dominant win, safe to say, from the Ferrari of Diggs, 18 seconds to be exact, averaging to pull away half a second a lap. But nonetheless, we head to crud, where do we? Oh, Qatar, oh dear. We head to Qatar in 2 weeks' time, where it's going to be Wagwan Karparanek. How are we, good sir? Welcome on in. You've joined us as we've just finished. We're going to go and raid Zalan Bider. I've probably butchered that name. I apologise. But yeah, Austria done and dusted. We are preparing for a 2 week time to head to Qatar. But yeah, you've joined myself, Rio Harris. If you don't know if you want to, you can find me, Rio Harris F1 on all socials. Jedi, where can they find you?
I own Jedi as well. So yeah, that's the easiest way. That's the Twitch. That's the only really one I use. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, me and Johnny will both thank everyone here for watching. We head to Qatar in 2 weeks' time. The drivers get a break. Lucky sods. But yeah. Thank you for watching. After a quite exciting Austrian Grand Prix, we will see you all for the next one. From myself, ciao, adios. I'll see you for the next one. Bye bye.